Well, hello and welcome to the third driving test route here from Horizon Driving School. This time we're going to be taking you through Darlington. It's our third route, and as per usual we will be setting off from the driving test centre. Now on your driving test day you'll be parked up. Probably best to face outwards, so reverse into the parking bay so it's so much easier for you to get out. And of course remembering that the route down the road is 10 miles an hour. So at the end of the road we will be turning left. Again, use the traffic lights to your advantage. And it is a game of patience, this junction, especially if you're turning right. So we're heading through the traffic lights. We can see that they are green. Again, they've been green for quite some time, so do expect them to possibly change to red. Now we can see the roundabout sign ahead, so we should be checking our mirrors. And as we're going to be going straight ahead towards the town centre, we can then see the next sign telling us what lane we need to be in. I would do advise get into the lane as soon as the lane starts. That way, no vehicles can come up on the inside of you and stop you from getting in there. Notice that speed change there, back to 30 miles an hour. We've looked into the roundabout nice and early and made a decision, and that we're able to continue without stopping. Keep an eye out as you exit the roundabout for any pedestrians that are wanting to cross, and if it is safe to do so, we should let them cross. So we reduced our speed there as the white Ford Focus started to move forward and made our gap smaller. And reacting early to the brake lights in front. Always when we stop behind another vehicle we want to see tyres and tarmac. This gives you a safety zone in case the car behind rolls backwards, or for any unexplained reason you jump forwards with the clutch. It will give you that little bit of safety room. So we will be turning left at the traffic lights. Again, they've been green for quite some time. I expect them to possibly change to red. However, in this instance, we get through on green. And we start heading down Geneva Road. So note on the left hand side we have a roundabout sign, and then it's followed by a mini roundabout sign. Do not misjudge this roundabout. Some people do go straight ahead without stopping. And as you can see, this road does get quite tight because of parked vehicles. Remember the saying, less space, less speed. If you can't give a vehicle which you're passing a full door width, then you must reduce your speed. As you see the road markings, this is for people to park, and if you had vehicles parked on both sides, you could see that it is quite a narrow gap to get down. However, if there are no vehicles there, you're quite within your rights to drive along that parking area, as we are doing so now. At the roundabout, we're going to be turning right, so we're adopting the right-hand position, checking the roundabout as we go in. Slight hesitation there because we're unsure where the vehicle was going, which was coming from the right, which we couldn't see. However, we managed to continue as they indicated late. And again, we've got parking area along the side of the roads, making the gap between the bollards and the van a little tighter. Remember, less space, less speed. Again, pedestrian crossing come up, checking either side so we can see there's nobody waiting, so it's unlikely the button's being pressed and the lights are going to turn to red. And again, this time we have somebody waiting at the crossing. The question is, has the button been pressed and will the lights change red? So we're always prepared to stop. Now we have roadworks coming up on our left-hand side, telling us that the lane is going to narrow from the left. These will be here for quite some time. And we're going to be coming up to the mini roundabout where we will be taking a left turn, first exit. Again, as you come into the roundabout at an appropriate speed, you should be able to decide whether you can go or whether you need to slow down or stop. In this instance, we're able to continue. However, looking into the junction, we can see that the pedestrian crossing, the temporary one, has gone to red. Now, as we head down towards the road, we're going to be taking the road which goes out the back of the fire station. And note that we do have a bus lane. Now, you must check your left door mirror before you move back towards the bus lane. Do not go into it until it has ended. Now, my advice on this junction, as it's a tight one, is there is a manhole cover coming up just in front of us there. Get your left wheel to go over that and you'll come round that bend and a nice curve rather than trying to do it at 90 degrees. Again, that is a very busy junction for pedestrians, so do keep an eye out for those. As we're now going up the back of the police station and the fire station, ahead of us we've got a steep hill. Now, this is a favourite for examiners. My advice to you is if that you are driving a manual vehicle, these lights are on red, I would suggest slowing down and going into first gear at the 20-mile-an-hour sign. Then you can creep up to the stop line and hopefully the lights will change. If not, you are in first gear ready to go. Now, please note, another great test fail is the stop line. It is so much further back from the junction as there would be normally. Normally, your stop line would be almost level with the traffic lights. In this instance, it isn't, as they need space for buses to come round the corner. Do not go forward of that stop line until the light is green. You'll see where the stop line is as we move forward. There it is there, set back from the junction quite some distance. Now, we are the only vehicles that are travelling, or the only lane which is going, so we're able to complete our turn without having to stop or give way to anybody. And again, up ahead, we have another zebra crossing where we can see someone is walking across. And we're approaching the next roundabout where we're taking the first exit. Again, decision has been made early that we can continue. Now then, once we go through these first set of traffic lights, we want to be thinking about getting into the right-hand lane at some stage very soon. Reason for this is because 9 times out of 10 you're going to be heading towards Barnard Castle, and that requires you to be in the right-hand lane, as you can see from the first sign. However, the second sign says we need to be in the middle lane, the A67. Now, as you come up here, you look straight ahead, you can see any vehicles coming round the roundabout. We can see that there is one, and we're now in the centre lane. So we look onto the roundabout, there is 3 lanes, we stay in the centre lane. This lane has now turned into the left-hand lane, and we come off heading towards Barnard Castle. Now this road, as we go around the bend, is tight, and again, it is parking that has been provided, yet it makes the road tight. Take care. Be aware of car doors opening, and again, if you can't give the space, you need to reduce your speed. It does start to open up a little bit as we come round this bend, however we still have parked cars on the road. And we're slowing down for this vehicle which is doing a reverse. Again, slowing things right the way down. So we're going to be taking a right turn very soon into Flora Avenue. Now there is a day nursery on the corner of here, and it gets very busy early mornings, afternoons and towards the night time. Be aware of vehicles parked right on top of the junction. Again is another narrow street, only wide enough for 1 vehicle. Do not try and get 2 down. If another vehicle comes in the opposite direction, considering moving over to allow them to go past. That way you are in control of this situation. At the end of the road, we're going to be turning left. And then we should be taking the next road on the right. As you can see, the roads are quite narrow and the junctions are quite tight. Take your time with them. As you see, although she's not actually quite on the junction, she's started to cross the road, so out of courtesy we will allow her to cross and give her some protection, if you almost. Now in the distance again we can see a junction, and we can see that it's actually a mini roundabout. There are quite a few mini roundabouts in this area. Again, approach them all at appropriate speed so that you're able to negotiate them safely. As you can see, we are turning left at this one. And again, looking up ahead, if we need to stop at this junction, we need to do a hill start. However, if you approach in first gear and go slow enough, you may be able to continue without having to do that hill start. As you see, we were able to keep it rolling. Biting point was maintained. And ahead, another crossing. Checking either side to see if anybody's pressed the button. And again, highly unlikely it's going to change to red if nobody's waiting. as we approach the roundabout. Again, appropriate speed. We're going straight ahead, so we want the left-hand lane. These lanes at the beginning are fairly tight. Don't try and keep in your lane until you get to the roundabout itself. Now don't worry about indicating to come off at this one. We're not going into the garage, but we still need to indicate that we're coming off. So up ahead we've got two cyclists, and you can see they're quite far out in the middle of the road. They should be closer to the curb, and it's making it a little bit harder for us to get past. However, we do give them at least 1.5 meters to get past, and we pass them safely. Remember, some cyclists are not too sure on the rules. They should still be tucked in towards the curb and then exposing themselves a little bit further out into the road when they're coming up to junctions. So as we're continuing along, we're heading towards the A66, what is known as the Rejvardi roundabout. There is a speed change shortly. However, a little further on it changes the national speed limit, but you're coming up to a roundabout. Do not increase your speed until you've completed the roundabout. We're taking second exit towards Teesside. And again, as with all of our roundabouts, appropriate speed to give yourself time to look and make a decision. So we can see the roundabout is quite busy. We're slowing our speed down, we're having a look, and made the decision that we need to stop. While I'm waiting for other vehicles, I'm checking to the left to make sure that it's safe for me to continue. And once my gap appears, I know it's safe for me to go, indicating that we're coming off. And now we're accelerating as we're on a single carriageway national speed limit, 60 miles an hour. Other vehicles around us will want to be doing the national speed limit, so it's important for us to get up with the flow of traffic. So you can now see in the distance that we're approaching a roundabout where we're going to be continuing straight ahead. Again, notice the sign just behind the roundabout sign telling you what lane that we need to be in. Now for us to go straight ahead at this roundabout, we need the right-hand lane. However, notice the faded hatch markings. You should go around those before you move into the right-hand lane. Be aware of other vehicles going straight on and trying to overtake you. Again, early vision, early decision. We could see that car coming round. We allowed that to pass and then pulled out safely. Again, checking those mirrors, indicating that you're coming off and still heading towards Teesside A66. Now we're going to be taking the first exit at the roundabout. Notice how it's got a filter lane, so we're not actually going onto the roundabout. There is a recommended speed of 20 miles an hour, and it is followed by a give way. Again, checking mirrors, moving straight into the lane and doing your slowing down in the lane. There's a warning sign telling you there is a give way. However, we're looking into the roundabout as we come round. We can see that there is a white car coming, possibly. We're slowing down, we're looking over our shoulder. White car's now past us, we know it's safe to continue. Again, we're going straight ahead, heading towards the town centre. And as you're probably aware, we're now on that home run back into the test centre. Once again, early vision, early decision, keeping into the left lane. So many people move across and cut the corner. It's understandable because of the poor road markings. However, try and keep yourself over to the left. So currently the lights are on green, however been green for quite some time, and we're going to be turning left into the test centre.